Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So today students, we'll be taking up your section B of the sample paper released. Now in this we have attempt any one of the two given. Okay, so this is writing and grammar of 10 marks and you need to be attempting any one. Okay, so here first we have
or chart study that is given to you, and the second you have is notice writing. Okay, so we'll be dealing with this one by one. It says situation setback, experience feeling upset. Now here one situation is given students wherein a person experiences feeling upset or a set of humans experience feeling upset. Now there are two kinds of human beings. One are those who process it healthily and those who are unable to process it in an effective or a healthy manner. Okay, so we'll study this chart quickly and we'll be writing about it in 120 words. Okay, so it is very important for you students to write it in an objective way. Which way? Objective, as though you're not attached to the situation but you know the situation entirely. Okay, and it has to be slightly in a way which is more or less like that of a survey. Okay, so you are expressing what you have to, but it has to be in a way that wherein you are not involved, you are just observing the situation, you are an onlooker. Okay, so for this it is very important that you study the chart properly. So here we have experience feeling upset. Okay, so set of humans who experience feeling upset, now of which one of the set experiences in a healthy way, and what do? They desire to feel it, learn from it, let it go. Okay, and then other are inability to process it fully, means they do not understand what really happened with them. And what do they experience? They experience feeling like as though they are blocked or stuck, and then it is sort of blockage learning. They are either overwhelmed means carried away by the situation, they criticize and doubt themselves. Okay, then which further takes them to rumination kind of state. Okay, what is rumination? That is, it leads to overthinking. Okay, and then what do they experience? They experience listlessness, means nothingness, and their attention is diverted from the potential learning. Okay, which in turn triggers what? Apathy is contempt. Anger, anxiety is as though what to do, what not to do. Okay, and depression, right? Then again it says, if you experience stuck feeling or a blockage feeling, what does it result into? These people, they can't come in terms with themselves. They even fail sometimes, and they fail to understand that everything can't be controlled and learning takes time and effort. So these things they do not accept it or are ready to take it. Okay, then what does it lead to? It leads to unacceptance of situations. Okay, they do not accept the situations as they are or as life comes across to them. Then it also results into insufficiency or inadequacy. Okay, inadequacy is insufficiency, as though something is lacking. Okay, leading to incompetency. Incompetency means inability to work. Okay, as though not putting your best in what you are doing. Okay, then also danger and threat means they turn vulnerable to the people around, as though they will be attacking anyone anytime soon. Okay, then also it leads to blaming others. Okay, they start with the blame game and start to blame others just because they feel upset or experience a kind of stuck feeling. Okay, then it again leads to, now this kind of situation again triggers apathy. Okay, that is self-contempt or victimizing oneself, then anger, then leading to anxiety. Okay, and depression, taking us back to feeling upset, that is square one, as you can see. Okay, on the contrary, we also have set of humans who process it healthily, who when they are upset, what do? They feel it means are in the moment. Okay, learn from it, they take the good part from it, that this is what they do not have to repeat and a part of it was correct, and then finally they let go of the situation. Okay, then and how do they do it? They feel. Okay, not that they dismiss the entire situation or they dismiss feeling upset. they feel it, okay, that it had happened with them, they accept it. Also they reflect over it. Reflect over it is these things can be avoided in future, okay, and what healthy measures can be taken. So that is reflection, healthy reflection. They also learn from it that there are lessons that they need to be taking back home and some mistakes that need not be repeated. Okay, then align means in a way sync with the situation. Okay, it was a part, now that situation is no more the part of our life experience. Okay, then also they observe the pattern, that the similar pattern should not be repeated. If suppose at point A I have committed this mistake, I should not be repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Okay, then what do they do in order to avoid being mistaken, or in order to feeling upset? What do they do in order to avoid such situations? They rework their beliefs on adequacy and process childhood memories. Okay, so they rework on themselves, their belief system. Okay, maybe this is how I think, this is what I believe is not right, or maybe what I had thought earlier was rather more correct. Okay, on adequacy. So for a particular situation, to avoid feeling emotionally upset, they start to take on to resources which they feel would be adequate or enough or sufficient. Okay, so they resort to adequacy and process childhood memories, means they clean the past clutter. Okay, whatever the past clutter might be, they clean it and they reform it. Assess magnitude of setback. Yes, this is also important. They start to question that how big do I want to make this setback. Okay, the moment you question this, the setback minimizes. Okay, so they start to question the magnitude, okay, the vastness of setback. Then assess difficulty of work and likelihood. So here you have, they also assess the difficulty of work and likelihood of future success by doing the work. Okay, so what do? They do the work in a healthy way, and also that they start to take interest in their work. Okay, and also they question that what all difficulties do they face while they are carrying out their work. Okay, and then what do? They build the grit to do the work. Okay, they build the grit, they build the confidence, they build a kind of spirit in their hearts and soul to carry on the work in the best possible manner. Okay, then how do they further deal with it? They assess healing states to experience and transform anxiety. Okay, so then they avail healing spots, or they avail to therapy or healing to experience and transform from anxiety into a more happier world. Okay, so healing helps a long way. Okay, then what does it result into? It results into unconscious or implicit memories. Okay, so this results into unconscious or implicit memories, good or bad, both. Then also they remove the habitual block processes. Okay, so whatever the blockages may be, emotional blockages or whatever led to that situation, trauma like situation or feeling upset like situation, they remove it by their daily habits. Okay, then scary early life experience of being reprimanded for not meeting their expectations. Okay, so even when they have their childhood experiences or early life experiences where they were insulted or demeaned for not meeting their expectations, they remove it by availing healing measures and by working on themselves. Okay, so this is what the entire chart is. You may give the following language to the same. Okay.
Part showcases a situation wherein a person experiences feeling upset. Okay, so as you can see in box 1, we have situation feeling upset. Okay, now it may lead to two kinds of outcomes, one of it being how effectively does he or she process it and get through it, while others may face difficulty facing it fully. Okay, so we have two set of humans, how effectively you face it and how if it is difficult for you to come through it. Okay, now next, since it is of 120 words, you should take care that it should be short and precise as well as understandable and objective. Okay, while humans who face difficulty processing it either experience blockage inside or are overwhelmed by a situation, as I explained you earlier, that those who face difficulty processing it, taking upsetness or taking sadness as it is, what do they experience? They experience blockage. What is blockage? Stuck like situation. Okay, so they feel as though they are stuck in that situation and could not or will not be able to come out of it, or are overwhelmed means either they turn very happy or they turn very sad, or they are extremely excited about the situation, or for example someone offers them something, they become very happy, or if something negative happens they turn very sad by a situation. They criticize and doubt themselves. What does it result into self criticism and self doubt. Okay, and thus are unable to come to terms with themselves. Okay, so they are unable to come to terms with themselves and understand themselves. Thus a person with blockage feelings has difficult time accepting that one can fail sometimes or everything can't be controlled, and learning takes time and effort. So they have difficulty accepting. Okay, they have hard time accepting that one can fail sometimes. Okay, so they those who experience or take it negatively, they fail to understand that everything can't be controlled, everything is not in their control, and that learning takes time. Okay, so this is how you can put in your own words, and everything takes time and effort. Okay, then or they are stuck in a rumination. Okay, so all those who take it negatively, take setbacks or sadness negatively, what does it result into? It results into overthinking. Rumination means overthinking. Okay, so it results into overthinking, experience nothingness. And what does it result into? They experience nothingness. Okay, as though they have nothing to do, and they get easily distracted from healthy learning. Okay, so when they experience setbacks and if they are not able to process it fully or take it in a healthy way, those set of humans, what do? They get easily distracted from healthy learning, like what is in store for them to do better. Okay, so they are distracted from healthy learning, thus resulting into they not being able to accept life and its situation. So what does it result into? Not able to accept life as it is and its situations. Okay, resulting into inadequacy means lacuna, students. Okay, as though something's missing from their lives. Incompetency means what? Incompetency means not giving one's best in whatever work one does. Okay, and vulnerability. What is vulnerability, students? As though the person who is struck by grief or is struck by sadness is open to attack, either being attacked by others or ready to attack others. Okay, so this results into those kind of situations, right? Then which further leads them to experience apathy. And once you do a wrong deed, okay, some say for example you go on to the road and something wrong has happened with you, and what do? Maybe you hit a person. Okay, or maybe you meet with an accident and you do not accept that it was your fault. So what does it result into? And if then you are taken to jail, it results into feeling apathetic means as though why did it even happen, or start to contempt oneself and also start to blame others. Also it results into anger, as though the other person is not able to understand one's situation. Also one turns anxious that, oh, I didn't mean to do but it happened, and those feelings wherein you don't hold yourself or the other person, you don't hold yourself responsible, you start to hold circumstances and the other person mainly responsible for whatever wrong happened, and also leading to depression. Okay, because you start to feel that this is not what you deserve, and then you start to take it in a other way, which further takes them back to the square one. Okay, so it again takes them back to square one, that is feeling upset. As you can see, that is feeling sad and upset. Okay, now we also have humans who process it healthily means, yes, they start accepting that, okay, maybe this traumatic situation has happened in my life, but there are ways and means I can get through it and come out of it. Okay, and how does it start? When you start to process it healthily, you start with accepting the situation, okay, as it is. So yes, this is what has happened. Okay, and maybe say for example someone dear in my home has died or something has happened, and you start to accept the situation. And how does it all start with? By feeling it. First of all, acceptance comes, and then comes feeling that yes, I accept and I feel the pain. Okay, so you need to accept that there is pain. Okay, then learn from it. Okay, then you start to learn from it. Okay, maybe this will not happen again, and then finally let it go, and then finally you swiftly let it go. Okay, then even when they have things in life that bog them down, like not so pleasant childhood memories, which reaffirms their engraved subconsciousness. Okay, so not everything comes that easy. Okay, whenever you experience a setback or upsetness, it takes a lot of courage to be in the moment or to feel the pain. Okay, so how much time can you be in that mode? Okay, finally you are feeling that moment to let it go. Okay, so why does it happen? Because we all human beings have lot of memories, not so pleasant memories, maybe of childhood, adulthood, it could be of anything, and that bog us down. What does bog us down mean, students? Bog us down means put us down. Okay, as though taking into some sort of whirlpool. Okay, and which reaffirms their engraved subconsciousness. Engraved means as though it's already there. Okay, or scary early life experiences, or whatever the early life experiences could be. Maybe you were said things which you did not deserve to be, you did not take it, or maybe you did not deserve as a person. Okay, so scary, some of the experiences are really scary. Okay, so or maybe you have had experiences which you felt were not right at that age, okay, for you to take it in a single go. So these are scary early life experiences. Somebody insulting you, somebody treating you like a doormat, it could be anything. Of being demeaned means of being insulted in a way you do not deserve. Okay, so demeaned is insulted for not meeting their expectations. So say for example, if you did not meet your expectation, maybe at your home or at your workplace, then you were insulted or thrashed. Okay, so those kind of experiences do not go well with human beings. But what do human beings with healthy processing do? Let us understand. As I told you, first they accept it, feel it, learn from it, and then they let go, as the chart showcases. Then we have humans who choose to process it effectively. Effectively means healthily, thus feel, reflect. Okay, so they feel the pain, they reflect over it. Okay, maybe I should take the good part and let go of the bad part, learn from it that I have better things to do in my life. Okay, and maybe I should not be wasting time with things which did not mean anything to me. Align means sync with oneself and sync with what one has to do. Observe and process. Okay, so they for some time observe the entire pattern, that this is what it happened, and then they process it and take care that it does not happen again. Okay, so here they have taken the example of childhood memories. They observe and process it and assess the magnitude of setback. As I told you earlier, magnitude of setback means how huge or vast the setback is, or how huge or vast the trauma is. Okay, or feel or the sadness that has come across is. Okay, as in huge it was. Okay, so the moment you start to analyze that it's not such a big problem, the problem minimizes. Then evaluate the difficulty of work. Okay, what do? They evaluate the difficulty. Okay, where all are the problems where you start to feel hitches, or where you start to feel blockages or setbacks, or you start to feel stuck. And then likelihood of the future success by working on oneself, and then they gradually start to work on oneself, that this is what I have to change my belief system. This is where I have to work on my work life, okay, or on myself as a human being. Okay, so this is how they process it in a healthy way. Then they build the required grit to carry on with their work. Okay, so then they gradually build the grit is a sort of confidence or a spirit that one, you may say, one in a way builds it in oneself, or inculcates in oneself to carry on with their work. Okay, so a certain amount of confidence, or what you say, himmat in Hindi. And finally avail healing for themselves. And how do they come out of it? Also they resort to healing for oneself, themselves, okay, to experience their stress and depression free states. Okay, so finally by healing and by giving time to oneself, experiencing the pain, and finally letting it go, they experience the stress and depression free states. Okay, so you see we have compared two set of humans and how do they take setbacks and traumas in their lives and how do they process it. Okay, so this chart is basically given to you so that you all process it in a healthy way if something, god forbid, if something like this happens. Okay, so this is a chart given to you. Now next we will be taking up your notice writing. So now we'll be taking your part 2 of this section B, and you either have to attempt the chart that we had studied earlier or you can attempt this letter writing. Okay, so let us see what the second question is all about. You are Samira Zaveri of class 10, Vadodara, Gujarat, and you come across the following information on a local library's notice board. Okay, so what you need to be doing is create your own board game competition. Okay, so you have to create your own board game competition. So this is the address given. Create an educational board game. Okay, so you need to be creating an educational board game and send it to Teen Toggle. Which company? Teen Toggle Games Private Limited. This is the address given, 307. This is Satija Building, Kolaba, Mumbai, and by July 2022 you have to send this letter. Okay, and the top 10 winning board games will be featured on our international portal. So a board game will be there on the international portal. Okay, will be displayed on the international portal. Okay, so attractive scholarships for the winners is also there. So there's also a prize waiting, and since you are Sabina Zaveri, you need to be applying for this in Teen Toggle. Okay, so now let us understand what you need to be doing. Okay, so it says you wish to participate but require more information. You require more information. Write a letter to Teen Toggle Games Private Limited in about 120 words. Also, the chart explanation was in about 120 words. Inquiring about the rules, scholarship details, and deadlines. Okay, so what are the scholarship details, like what will be the winning prizes, and also what is the deadline like. Also inquire about the specifications for solo or group entries. Okay, so if you could participate individually or in a group, you need to be inquiring about the same. So now let us understand this letter in detail. So students, this is how we can start. So on the left hand side you need to be writing your address, that is from whatever school you are. So this is Modern Public School, you may write Vadodara, and this is date. Okay, so since you are expecting a reply by 22nd of July, you may mention the date as 7th July 2022. Okay, then again leave a line and then left hand side to the company's name, Teen Toggle Games Private Limited, then whatever the address given is 307 Satija Building, Kolaba, Mumbai. Okay, so this is how you need to be writing. It has to be aligned. Aligned means make sure that it is done in a neat way. Okay, and it is all in a symmetric way. Then what you will be writing, now this is the address part. Okay, now comes the body. So here you need to be mentioning the subject. Okay, inquiry about the winning board games. Okay, so that is the subject. So how will you be starting? Dear sir, this is with reference to the advertisement I could come across wherein your company has organized a competition for all those who wish to create their own board games. Okay, so you need to be mentioning the subject straightforwardly since this is a business letter also. Okay, so also the top 10 board games will be put on the international portal. So everything's given in the information. So first you need to be mentioning that this is what you have read and you have come across. Okay, then next, then you may say Firstly, I am interested in knowing more about the competition. Okay, so what is your duty? You're asked to know about the details of the competition. Okay, so you're interested in knowing more about the competition, what the competition is all about. Okay, what sort of games would you appreciate? Okay, so what sort of games, if you are going to create a game or board game of your own, so what sort of games would they appreciate and accept, and what is the procedure to apply for the same? Okay, so and what is the procedure? So there could be form filling or whatever be it. Okay, also I am interested in knowing the details about the prizes and scholarship distribution. Okay, so also what will be the prizes? Okay, what will you get if you are selected and if your game is put in top 10 board games, and what kind of scholarships will you be availing? Okay, so this is also important, that what will you be receiving at the end of it. Okay, so whatever creativity you offer, you need to be receiving something for it, right? So you are inquiring about the prizes, scholarship distribution, the procedure, that is the form filling, how would you be applying, and finally what are the rules and regulations for applying and you need to be following. Okay, so that is why what do? I request you to provide the above information. So whatever questions or queries you have, you're asking them to provide the information regarding the same at the earliest. Okay, so as soon as possible, since you need to be submitting your form by 22nd of July, so you're expecting the reply at the earliest, and you have written this letter on 7th of July. Okay, so that I can proceed with my decision if to be a part of this competition, or what should he or she be doing. Okay, so finally towards the left hand side, what will you be writing? With regards, Samira Zaveri and your class. Okay, so this is how a formal letter or a business letter or an inquiry letter looks like. Okay, so this is one example. You can attempt either the chart or you can attempt the letter writing. Okay, whatever is feasible and comfortable for you. So here we finish with section B, and now we will be taking up section C. See you in the next video. Do take care.